This is CW Iowa Live.
And good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to CW Iowa Live. Jackie Schmelin here with Josh Denhart, who is filling in for Lou Seipolt this morning. And, of course, the wonderful Sheree Clark from Fork in the Road, who is with us every single Thursday here in the program. Love seeing you, ma'am. But first, we got to talk about, you do so much more than what we do right here on the program. We're talking special events and something huge that's coming up in May. So first, we want to take a quick sneak peek on something very special coming up.
Hi, I'm Sheree Clark. I'm a healthy lifestyle coach with a practice I call Fork in the Road. I've put together an interview series and I'd like to invite you to come along. You see, I believe that at any given point, we're all at a fork in the road. Sometimes it's a big fork, like do I leave a loveless marriage or stay until the kids are grown? Do I take early retirement or do I stick it out for a few more years? But sometimes it's the smaller forks in the road, and those are the ones that I believe really define, when they come together, the life that we're going to have and live. For example, do I skip dessert or indulge? Do I stop at one drink or have a few more? Do I run tonight or watch TV? This series is for you if you keep promising yourself that this week, this month, this year, things are going to be different. Or if you get anxious about getting older, or if you've ever said to yourself, there's got to be more to life than this. I've gathered together a group of experts, people who know something about all areas of happiness, from nutrition to spirituality. My experts are authors, coaches, doctors, entrepreneurs. They're people just like you and me, and they've discovered ways to uplevel their own happiness, and they'd like to help others do the same. I'd like to gift you the series. I want you to be able to have all of the things you need to navigate your own fork in the road, whatever that might be. All you have to do to get access is hit the Get Access button. After that, I'll send you an email that will tell you how to access each of the half-hour interviews with our experts. So let me ask you, what the fork are you waiting for?
And there you go. And if you've heard that phrasing before, sure, you've done something like this in the past, correct?
I have. This is the second annual What the Fork interview series, and I am so excited. We started to talk about it a little bit last week. I brought along some of the experts that I was going to be showcasing.
And quite a few.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
There's more. We're talking more.
There's more. And you know, some of them have got to have something to do with food, because that's part of my bailiwick and where I come from. So let me introduce you to a few of the experts that we're going to be having. And the first one I'm going to introduce you to is Dr. Rita Marie Lascalzo. And she's written this book called Dessert, Making It Rich Without Oil. She's also big into hormones. She's a chiropractor. She does a lot of different things, but I'm going to talk about her first because I made the ice cream that she has in this book, and I figured we better try to eat that before we get started. So
before it starts melting.
You don't want anything to melt, but I love, okay, so you know my weakness. Everybody kind of has weaknesses in life. Mine is sweets.
Yes.
I love them to death. And you're saying there's a way to do that in a healthier way, so I don't feel like I'm depriving myself, but I'm still putting better things in my body than probably what I am now.
Exactly. And so my experts that have something to do with food will show you exactly how to do that. So Dr. Rita Marie's ice cream, for example, this is actually a coconut mango ice cream that I made.
Can we give this a try?
Yes,
Ready?
it's really wonderful. And she specializes on doing things that have less fat and less oil in them. So that's the whole gig here.
That kind of throws me, less oil. When I think of desserts, I don't think
We don't think of oil.
oil.
That's fantastic.
Well, oils are contained in nuts, for example. Yeah, isn't that wonderful? So there would be,
that's good.
It's a lot less of the basic. A dessert is made up of three things: sweet or sugar, a fat, and then a flavor. So
True.
yeah, so if you think about all of the desserts that we really love, what they all have in common, it's those three things.
Right.
Now you made this.
Yeah.
It tastes like
it's from
regular,
her recipe.
great ice cream.
Yeah.
Did you have to have an ice cream maker, or can you
I
just...
used an ice cream maker, but
did.
you can also make ice cream by putting it into an ice cube tray and stirring it. So yeah, there's lots
I
of
like the
different
texture.
options.
It's got some coconut in there I can taste.
Yep, very
It's
smooth
fantastic.
and whatever.
It's really good.
So she's not the only one that does the food thing. Okay, so then I thought you would like this book here, Josh. It's called Get Naked Fast.
There you go.
Who wouldn't love
That's
that
right.
book?
That's right.
And that
Swimsuit season. Here we go.
That's right. Diana Stobo is a fabulous chef and teacher. She also has just recently, within the last year, opened a resort in Costa Rica where you can go and detox and what have
Really?
you. So yeah, so I made the pesto.
Because that's what I want to do when I go to Costa Rica.
Go and detox.
Sorry, I'm just going to keep eating this because it's so tasty. Keep
It
talking,
is
keep
good.
talking.
So
But this one.
her pesto, yeah. So you'll have to give that a taste. So that's one of her recipes. She's also into the whole clean eating thing. All of my experts that do something with food will tell you that that's a really big part of our health and well-being. What we put into our bodies is fuel, and that's something that's really
And you
important.
talk about this all the time. So this is her
That's her recipe for pesto.
I was gonna
exactly.
say, you've brought in pesto before, and it's fantastic. So
Yep, so she's got to live up to it, and I think she does. I think she does a really nice job. And
That is good.
the carrier for that, you've seen me bring these crackers
Correct.
before. So these are Jill's crackers. I've already,
fantastic.
I loved these crackers. These are awesome. And I learned about these crackers, actually, my source is this expert. And this expert is Anne Baroque. And Anne did a book called The Candida Diet, or The Candida Cure. And she's also done a cookbook about Candida. Candida is an overgrowth. It happens in the intestinal area. It's when yeast and things start to be in your body that aren't supposed to be there. She has a big program that she walks you through, and what she even does is tells you store-bought items that you can get that are, one, work for the program, and two, taste good.
Yeah, that's a really important thing, right?
It's mission critical because we're not going to stick with it if it doesn't
No,
taste
you're
good.
exactly
and making
right.
it very accessible, because if it's not easy in some
I would agree with that.
circumstances, I'm not going to do it either. We're
Exactly.
too much on the go. So
Yep.
she's really making it easy for you. And we've had those crackers many times, but didn't know it came from
Where it came from
one
her.
of your experts. There you go.
You've also got some hummus. You know I like to make that.
Yes,
fan
thank
of
you,
hummus.
hummus.
Shirley Plant's recipe for red bell pepper hummus is
Finally,
really
food you can eat. I didn't know we couldn't eat it before.
Well, here's the thing with Shirley.
Okay.
Shirley has had a variety of food sensitivities throughout her life. And when you have those, any place you go could be a landmine. And,
True.
you know, the food is all there and it's all, so she's navigated almost every food sensitivity you can imagine and tells us exactly how we can do that.
Wow. I know a lot of friends that could benefit from that. Okay.
It's not just
Super
about
good.
food. We've also got experts that deal with things like essential
So
oil.
oils.
This is Jody Cohen. I love her book.
Show you
I
oils
love,
while I eat hummus.
Yes, you've got the oils. Here's the thing. Many of us know about single oils, okay? So, you know, we've got lavender and peppermint and lemon and those kinds of things. What we don't know necessarily, many of us, is how to combine them.
Right.
So that Jody has already combined in some proprietary blends to make things easy. So this one is for the parasympathetic system. I'm going to invite you, if you want, to dab a little bit behind your
Para and
ears.
what?
Parasympathetic.
Yeah.
It will help you with digestion and to feel
Really?
relaxed. Yeah. It's a beautiful scent. It's a beautiful blend. That's one
Why,
of hers.
I'm
Right
glad I
behind
get
the
to
ears
relax.
as though it were perfume. And you'll enjoy it. You can,
Yes,
you can
and
add a
you're
little bit
sharing,
too.
right?
Yep, we're sharing the love.
Okay.
All right.
Because it can kind of be universal smell, but I love this.
That is good.
Oils are kind of the it thing right now. I know you've probably been involved with them for many, many years, but right now they're the hot thing. You can find them everywhere.
Yes.
But now I'm confused because
Right.
it's like, yes, I want to be happy and relaxed and, you know, healthy, and there's so many, I don't know where I'm supposed to go or where I'm supposed to
And
start.
that's why we need to tune into Jody's interview with Jody, because those are the kinds of questions that I ask her. What do we do? Where do we start? And
Right.
does it really work? That's the other question.
True.
You might think, well, it smells real good, but is this doing anything?
Doing anything.
And she'll answer that during her interview.
Okay.
Why not go to an expert, right? Rather than just dabbling on your own and trying to figure these things out.
Amen to that, exactly. And all my expert interviews are audio only, and they're just a half hour. So it's low investment. You listen, and I go for the jugular on I want really
Get right to the
good
meat.
information.
Good to the meat.
Exactly. So Keisha Ewers, that's
Okay.
the Solving the Immune Puzzle book right there. Now, autoimmune diseases are things like Hashimoto's or lupus.
Right.
She doesn't just talk about those things with me in the interview. When we said we were going to go for the important things, we also talked about sex. So
Okay.
It's quite important.
You're going to
Boom.
want to tune into that interview as well. So the experts, again, talk about specific things that, you know, some of them might be ailments that we know that people are plagued by. Others of them are just things that are part of our everyday life.
Right.
And that's a good example. I mentioned Hashimoto's. Andrea Nakayama did a book called Hashi Companion. That's that one. If you open that one, Jackie, what I really love about that book is that it's got some illustrations and some things that you open perfectly to that explain how the body works. So if you're faced with something that is it's a debilitating ailment or disease, you really do want to understand it. You want to know what's happening to your
Right.
body. And what I like about her book and her is that she breaks it down and makes it easy to understand. It's not some high level out there thing where you're like, I guess I'll just have to trust you, doc.
Like a medical book that's just way over your head.
Right.
Exactly, exactly. So she's a fabulous interview as well. Down on the far right, Doc, you can see we've got a lot of things
There's a lot
going
going on coming up in May, folks, just so you know. Okay, what else do we have?
Dr. Kim DeRamo talks about the mind-body toolkit. She's a physician, and when she was in medical school, when we did the interview, she shared with me that every time she studied a different part of the body, she was convinced that there was something wrong with her with regard to that. So everything that they were studying, she started kind of like being a hypochondriac.
Sure.
Right.
Started thinking, oh my gosh, I think I have this disease. And when she started to look at that, because it was real to her, when she started to look at that, she started to make the connection between the mind and the body. So she really
Very
explores that, yes, and we go deep in that. Now you may be wondering why I have dog treats over here. Another one of my
we have to try 'em?
Yeah, are they tasty?
No,
You know?
we're not going to open those. Lori Taylor is an entrepreneur and an expert. She has a company called True Dog, and these are some of the treats that her company does. I wanted to interview her for two reasons. Number one, pets, our companion animals, really have something to do with the health and well-being of our lives.
Right.
They're part of our family. We're entrusted with their care. So I wanted to talk about feeding our companion animals and doing that appropriately. But I also love Lori because she's an entrepreneur, a high-level executive type of person, very type A, and I wanted to talk to her about how do you get all this done and how do you stay sane and do you have a normal life too? So that interview touches that. So there's a ton of things going on in the series. It's just
So these 30-minute little bursts are great for a car ride. They're great while
Yes.
you're fixing your lunch and sitting down.
exactly. And because you'll listen to them, you can download them, you can refer to them when you want. And here's the other really awesome thing, Josh. Every one of the guests have provided a gift for the listeners. So at the end of the interview, we'll give you a URL that they can go to and you get something else for free. Sometimes it's an audio interview, sometimes it's a tape that they've created
Kind of
just
a
for
bonus.
us. Exactly. Gift with purchase. So
Yeah.
they'll want to tune into that.
Wonderful. Well, a lot of great information once again this morning. If people want to get signed up, because we want to make sure they do that first and foremost, where do they need to go to get this done?
You'd go to sowhatthefork.com. So what the fork, which kind of fits, you know,
Yes.
it really does.
And is
so.
there a deadline for when we need to be signing up?
What you want to do, you're going to want to do it today or tomorrow because the interviews start on May 1st.
Okay.
And you do not want to miss a single one. They're all fabulous.
Wonderful. And if people want to follow more of what you're doing, Sheree, on a regular basis, getting great recipes that you've been inspired by as well, where should they go for that?
You would go to www.fork-road.com or drop me an email at info@fork-road.com, and I'm happy to answer questions about the series or about anything that people have questions
That's
about.
fantastic.
Wonderful. Well, I know I'm going to be asking for some more recipes because these are absolutely delicious this morning. Great to see you and looking forward to this all starting in May.
I love this.
I know, isn't that great?
Can't believe
We're going to
that-
go to break so we can keep
That's
eating,
right.
folks. More great things heading your way on CWI Will Live. We will be right back.